Hi all. Today we will be demonstrating a scenario in interview, wherein a scenario is how to generate a sequence number using connected lookup transformation. So let's try to see how we can achieve this. So this is the data set which is coming from my source, and if I run for the first time, so I should have my sequence number, and this sequence number should increment as per the records which are coming from my source. And if for the second run, whenever I run, the sequence number should start from where my last sequence number was there. So let's try to achieve this using connected lookup transformation. I know this could be achieved with expression transformation, row num function, sequence in my Oracle database via SQL transformation, and so on. But as the scenario says, we need to achieve through a connected lookup transformation. Let's try to see that. So let's go to my database. So I have a table called this. So I have some 20 records coming from here. And if I run the same query in my target table, I don't have any data. So let's start designing the mapping. So I'll go to my source analyzer. I'll import my source, which is let's scenario underscore 51. So this is the source table. So my source table is in place. Let's import my target structure as well. So SCNR underscore 51 target. Okay, so my source and target structures are in place. Let's start designing the mapping. Let's drag my source. It asks for a mapping name. So let's say m underscore, let's say generating sequence number using connected lookup. Source qualifier, and let's go to my target. So let's maximize for a good view. So I have my source and my target, both are in place. So let's start building the mapping. So let's use a transformation, and the transformation is called an expression transformation, and here I would be generating a sequence. So it would be through counter method. So let's use that. Bring in all the ports. Let's go over here and let's create a variable port which says my count, data type of double. Let's say count plus 1. Let's copy this port and let's create one more port and take this port ahead as an output port. So I don't need this. Let's assign my variable port that was correct. So that's done. So if I connect this to my target table, so what will happen is my data would my sequence number would get generated for the first time. So whatever records are coming. But if I rerun this again, my sequence number would initialize from 1, which I don't want. So what we will do is, so we will do a lookup on this table. So transformation, create lookup. So I'm doing a lookup on my target table. So this is the lookup. Let's say okay. That's it. So I have few ports. So what I'll do is I'll just remove this column. I don't need this. So sequence number is okay. That's fine. And what I'll do is I'll add one more port, which we'll say as a key port. So make it as a data type of double. So that's it. And there will be an input port. So that's it. Okay. So condition is empty. Yes, I'll do that at a later stage. Yes, yes. So what I'll do is here, so I have to join these two things. So I'll create a key column. So this would be O underscore key column, data type of double, wherein I would be providing a dummy value of 1. So this key value will come over here. So this would be a input key. So necessary naming conventions. Okay. So let's go to the properties condition tab and let's create a condition on key and key. So what I'll do is I'll go to the properties and I'll generate a sequence statement over here. So this is the first column, and the second column I want is one as key, and this is not needed. This is from my target table. So what I need to do is I need to handle this sequence if my null values are coming. So I need to take care of it. So what I'll do is, let's say I'll go for NVL of my sequence number. So if I face any null values over there, I'll replace it with 0. Before that, what I need to do is, let's say max of my sequence number, and in my sequence number I have any null values, I'll replace it with 0. So that's it. That looks good to me. Okay, okay. So let's move ahead. I'll create one more transformation called expression, and here I will count it. So it's already we used. Let's append it by 1. Let's bring in over here. Okay, so bring in all the ports from my expression transformation, and key is not required because that key is going over there for joining purpose. So let's bring this over here. That's it, and the sequence number will go over here. So these columns will go as a straight map, and I need to do something in my expression transformation. Let's do that. So this would be input port. I won't be sending this ahead. Let's create one variable port, and which will say my surrogate key, data type of double, and this would be a variable port. So let's write a small if condition. If is null of my sequence number, which is coming from my lookup. If that is null, so what I need to do is I need to assign my count which are coming from my expression transformation. Else, what I need to do is, if that is not null, so there would be a number. So sequence number plus the number would be again generated from expression transformation. Let's validate this. Looks good. Copy this port. Take this port ahead. Naming convention. And that's it. So let's copy this and let's assign this. So we are done, and let's link this. So this is the mapping which will give me the result. Let's save this. So the mapping is good. Copy the mapping name. I will need it in my workflow. Okay, not connected. Let's connect with the credentials. Go to the videos. Let's create a new workflow and give the naming conventions. And let's create a task that is a session and associate your mapping. So link this task, then your source and target connection. Source is coming from my staging schema, target is from Dallas, the target is from star schema, that is okay. So change bulk to normal. I would be inserting the data, so no update, no delete, no truncate, because second time there should be a value so that I can fetch the maximum key and increment that. Lookup, it is pointing to my target database, so that is star schema. Let's say okay. Let's save this. Let's run for this. Let's run for the first time. Go to my monitor tool. Let's observe this successfully executed. Oh, I'm not getting my run properties. Let's give my output window. Okay, so here we are. So first time it ran. So 20 records. That's what the expectation is. So if you'll see, sequence numbers are from 1 to 20. Let's run this for the second time. Right click this and restart your task. 20 records read. 20 records written, the expectation is it should start from 21, not from 1. Let's run this query again. So if you'll go ahead, so if you'll see, my sequence number is getting incremented, and that's what the scenario is, generating sequence number using connected lookup transformation. Feel free to post your comments, and if you have any questions, write an email to smithsy.technologies@gmail.com. If you want your scenarios to be implemented, or if you have any scenarios, please mail on this email ID. I'll revert you with a solution. Thank you for watching. In my later video, we will see the same scenario, but we would be achieving this with unconnected lookup transformation. Thank you.